Yeah, yeah. Ball so hard, you better believe me, it's scary. It's basketball at the bar with Calvin and Barry. So put a tip in the jar, cause these dudes can really fill it up. Whether it's buckets you need or just a beer in a cup. We're here for fresh conversations and some delicious libations. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. My boys got you covered like you being guarded by Peyton. From the glove to the claw and everyone else in between. Calvin and Barry got everything that you need. So sit back, relax, because we're starting the show. It's basketball at the bar. Grab your drinks and let's go. Yeah. Grab a drink and let's go. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification. Calvin and Barry. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification. Let's get it.
What's up, ballers? Welcome back to the bar and happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful week, but welcome back. My name is Barry. I will be your host today. This is the Hair of the Dog Morning Show. We go over all the hottest news in the NBA. We're going to preview some preseason games, or actually review some preseason games from last night and preview some preseason games from tonight. And we're going to go over some other NBA news as well. So welcome in, everybody. And I know what you're thinking right now, but Barry, it's not morning. Well, it is here.
Hey, I'm in Hawaii too. Oh, that's neat. Aloha, bitches.
Welcome back, everybody. What's up, Key Kings? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Like I said, it is Aloha Friday. And let's go ahead here and jump into the news. Wow, this is crazy, right? We've all been hearing about the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole incident in practice 2 days ago. The video has finally come out. And boy, is it a doozy, man. I feel like I'm almost watching this Ray Rice video. But I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys. And then you can give me your thoughts and I'll give you mine. There he is, Draymond. And Jordan Poole is to the left of the screen. Jordan Poole's not even looking at Draymond Green. He's not talking, nothing. Draymond Green comes up, gets in his face. Jordan Poole shoves him. Bam! Dude, that's brutal, man. That is so brutal. That is absolutely crazy. We'll watch it one more time here. Look at this. This looked like a UFC punch. Boom! Just leaned right into it. Man, that is 100% not acceptable. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. That you just treat your other teammates like that. You're supposed to be the leader of this franchise. You just won an NBA championship. This is one of the up-and-coming players on your team, and you treat him like this. This is totally not acceptable. As I talked about on yesterday's show, I think this ultimately stems from contract negotiation. Jordan Poole, I expect to be re-signed here before the start of the season. Draymond Green's wanting a contract extension. I don't think the Warriors are going to give him one. This definitely does not help his case at all. But it's, dude, this is a crazy, crazy situation. We can talk a little bit more about the situation, see what some of these other guys had to say. But before we do that, I kind of want to talk about Draymond Green's past history, right? A lot of people know him as, kicking people in the nuts. We saw him do it to Steven Adams twice. He tried to hit LeBron James, got suspended in the finals that year that they lost. They were up 3-1, lost to in the finals to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then there was an incident between Draymond Green and Kevin Durant that reportedly spilled into the locker room. This was back in 2018. Where Draymond Green was basically calling out Kevin Durant for not re-signing, or he had not re-signed at that time. And Draymond Green gets suspended for 1 game for this whatever altercation they had. It didn't say anything about a punch. We heard about the punch before we even saw a video, but obviously the video, in my opinion, makes it much, much worse. But Draymond Green's got a history of getting into it with teammates, with other players on other teams. And as Key King says here, the person who gave the video to TMZ got $2 million. That's crazy. What a come up. Congratulations, I guess. Here's what Steven Jackson had to say on the matter.
And there's no reason to sucker punch a young fella, you know what I'm saying? But I told Draymond last night, he got to fix that situation with Poole. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't benefit from it at all. He got to be the big bro and go over there and tell little bro, look, I spazzed out. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da. But you never hit the little homies like that. in practice, all your teammates, man. You never do that. I've never done that, bro. Never done that.
Yeah, obviously not an acceptable, response by Draymond Green. They said he's been apologetic to Jordan Poole and to his teammates and coaching staff, but ultimately, like, you did it, right? Like, you straight up punched your teammate in the face, whether it's your emotions that got the best of you or you really had some feelings and, they finally spilled out. You actually did it. And, I don't know really what an apology does, especially to a guy like Jordan Poole. When this video is all over the internet, people are going to be talking about it for weeks, months. It's crazy. And, I do have to mention Steve Kerr, right? Pretty interesting. The past doesn't, repeat itself exactly, but it does rhyme. He is very well known for getting into an altercation in practice with the real Jordan, Michael Jordan, where Jordan goes at Kerr, knocks him over. Kerr gets up, pushes Jordan. Jordan goes and punches Kerr in the face. You can see the black eye from him in this situation. But this was two teammates going at it at practice versus I think this Jordan Poole, Draymond Green situation is completely different, right? Jordan Poole was standing off there to the side. Draymond Green initiated everything. Jordan Poole pushed him away, and then Draymond Green came straight at him with that right hook. Man, that's brutal, man. It really is brutal. Also wanted to remind you all, if you're looking at past issues in the NBA, we did have two teammates on the Chicago Bulls get into it years ago, where Bobby Portis breaks Nikola Mirotic's face. And Bobby Portis tweets, "I got 8 games for simply defending myself. I think it's a lot different." And according to Woj, during practice, Mirotic charged at Portis twice before Portis threw a punch and connected with Mirotic's face. This, to me, seems like if Draymond Green had charged at Jordan Poole and Poole had punched Green, maybe he'd be in for like an 8-game suspension or something like that from his own team. But Draymond Green was the aggressor, and he was the one doing the punching. So I think it is much, much different. I think the Warriors do suspend him. Maybe they trade him. Honestly, if I were the Golden State Warriors, I would not want Draymond Green on my team anymore. I would say, thank you for everything you've done in the past. You've been great, but this is not acceptable behavior. And honestly, we already had thoughts about potentially moving you or not re-signing you. You say you want a max deal. You're getting older. You are not worth a max deal on this team. And this just throws another wrench into the wheel there. So I expect there to be a huge punishment from Draymond from his own team. Whether the league will do anything, I'm not really sure. But honestly, if I were the Golden State Warriors, I would consider trading Draymond Green. Whether this incident hurts his trade value, I'm not really sure. But I think you could probably call a couple different teams and they'd be willing to offer you something. One of them being the Detroit Pistons, who I had mentioned a couple months ago. The owner is same alumni from Michigan State, loves Draymond Green. They plan on offering him a max contract at the end of this season. So maybe if you're Golden State, you can say, hey, Detroit, you want to start your rebuild a little bit earlier here, take on Draymond Green. He'll help you this season. We saw a quote from Steph, actually an interview from Steph talking about the situation, saying that, this was not Jordan Poole's fault at all. He was not, his attitude hadn't changed. He was not, talking smack to everybody. That report was completely wrong. But then he also goes on to say that, this is not going to derail their season. And he expects Draymond Green to be a part of their team, helping to repeat as champions. So we'll definitely see there. I did see this trade listed on NBAanalysis.net. This Nets Warriors trade features Draymond Green. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Basically, Warriors receive Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, a 2028 first-round pick, and the Nets receive Draymond Green. Kind of weird here, right? They put Ben Simmons in the title here, and then they don't even really have him here listed in this trade. Kind of weird. Maybe we can find another one in page 3 that might have that in there. But yeah, really crazy. I don't know if I'd do this deal. I don't know if this is enough. You put Ben Simmons in there, I'd consider it, because I think if any team could take on a guy like Ben Simmons turn him around, and especially a team that doesn't need extra shooting, the Golden State Warriors is that team. But I don't know if I'd do Draymond Green for Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, and a first-round pick. I don't think that is enough. I think they could get more elsewhere. That's for sure. All right. Next up in the news, Dennis Schroeder is officially set to join the Lakers this weekend after signing him, about a week and a half ago. The Lakers have got demolished in the preseason here. They are now 0-3. We'll go over last night's game. It was a back-to-back. No LeBron James, no Anthony Davis. When we look at the roster that actually played in last night's game, it is laughable. So they're 0-3. They're still trying to work out the Russell Westbrook situation. Dennis Schroeder is set to join the Lakers this weekend, so we'll see if he can have an impact on the team. All right, next up. A report reveals the identity of the Celtics staffer who had an affair with Ime Udoka. This interesting. I mean, not that I really care about this stuff, but if you're curious, it doesn't have a name listed in here, but it says it was a 34-year-old woman who held the role as a team services manager for the Celtics, was having an affair. The affair was consensual, short-lived, and had ended by the time investigators got involved. The crazy thing is, this 34-year-old woman is married. She's Mormon. She has 3 children. And apparently she has a relationship with Danny Ainge because she attended BYU with some of Ainge's daughters. So interesting situation there. Maybe there's the connections. And this could be why it's more than just an affair and is affecting the Celtics this year and had them replace their coach. Really a crazy situation. We heard the Matt Barnes quote that, it's 100 times worse than reports say. Well, I guess we'll find out because, that stuff always does come out. But unfortunate situation for the Celtics. Hopefully they can, turn it around this season and not have it really affect them. All right, this is a cool photo that's going viral. Victor Wambayama, this is definitely his week after scoring 37 in his first game. I think he had 34 in the second game, was splashing threes. The dude is absolutely incredible. We saw LeBron and Anthony Davis watching him play. This dude is going to be the new face of the NBA if he can remain healthy, right? This is him standing next to Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is 7'1". Victor is listed at 7'2". I don't think he's 7'2". I mean, just look at this picture. Unless he's wearing, a 3 or 4 inch heels, this dude's looking more like 7'4", 7'5". And it's just even crazier to think that he can do all the moves, shoot, be as smooth as he is at that size. He is a little skinny. I think he maybe needs to bulk up a little bit, which is a tough subject as well, because a small frame like that, you add weight, it does put extra pressure on your joints, your muscles, things like your foot. A lot of big men have foot issues. So it hasn't seemed to impact him so far. His weight, we'll see when he joins in the NBA, if he needs to add a little bit to bang inside with some of these big guys, but the dude is so skilled. This is Kevin Durant and Giannis put together with a little bit of Wilt Chamberlain inside as well. And he is definitely going to take the league by storm. I am a huge Victor Wambayama fan. And, we're going to hear more and more about this guy throughout the season. As the Victor sweepstakes heats up, whoever gets the number 1 overall pick is getting this guy for sure. And as Key King says, Victor and Scoot are special. Scoot Henderson is projected to be the number 2 overall pick. So although Victor, I think, will be the most talented player out of this draft, Scoot is special as well. So I think whoever gets the first and the second pick will both be very, very happy going into next season. Wow, just imagine if the Thunder get the number 1 pick and they can pair this guy with Chet Holmgren. That would be absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's go over games yesterday. Yeah, it's not all about Draymond Green punching people in the face. We actually had some NBA games yesterday. We had 6 of them. If you watch yesterday's show, I went over the Bucks versus the Hawks game early. This was the game in Abu Dhabi. Adam Silver was at this game, and it was really early. It was 6 a.m. my time, which is about 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. DeJounte Murray absolutely killed in this game. He almost had a triple-double in like 30 minutes in this game. DeJounte Murray is going to be the key for success this year for the Atlanta Hawks. Takes the ball out of Trae Young's hands, lets him run around and get open for catch and shoot opportunities. I expect a huge year out of the Atlanta Hawks, and for me, they're one of the teams that won the offseason this year, picking up DeJounte Murray, that's for sure. Giannis, also 19 points in this game as well. Still waiting for Chris Middleton to get back into the action. All right, let's talk about the rest of the games. So Brooklyn takes on Miami in Brooklyn. Brooklyn only scores 80 points in this game as Miami dominates 109-80. Bam Adebayo, 17 points for him and 22 for Kevin Durant. Let's take a look here at the box score. Jimmy Butler, 17 minutes in this game, only 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field. Definitely pretty passive. Only 1 assist in this game. It's a preseason game. So, teams like the Miami Heat, they're not always looking for victories in preseason. They're working on sets. They're trying to get guys wins back and just kind of figure out what their system's looking like this season. As I mentioned, Bam Adebayo, 17 points in this game, 15 for Kyle Lowry. Good to see him healthy. I think his injury definitely affected him and the Miami Heat last year in the playoffs. Strauss, 10 points for him. Did not shoot well in this game, 4 of 12 from the field and 1 of 6 from three-point range. We did not get to see Tyler Hero, our reigning sixth man of the year that just signed a huge contract extension. He had a big game for them in their first preseason game, but he was out this game due to a right knee contusion. Also, no Victor Oladipo yet. Returned to competitive reconditioning. Kind of a weird designation there. Same with Gabe Vincent. Maybe he's just not in shape yet. Is that what that means? Pretty interesting. All right, Brooklyn Nets. KD. KD's being KD, man. 8 of 12 from the field, 22 points in 26 minutes of action. You got Royce O'Neal in here. Nick Claxton obviously did not play as well as he played in the first game. I think he was 8 of 11 from the field in that first game. 18 minutes, 0 points, only 2 boards in this game. Brooklyn is going to need a lot more out of him if he wants to have that starting center position and they want to be have a successful year. That's for sure. Ben Simmons, we get to see him play again. Ben Simmons has played 2 games now in the postseason. Hasn't made any threes, which is well expected. Had a couple dunks, but he's played pretty well. Only 4 points in this game, but 10 big rebounds, 4 assists, 25 minutes, 2 of 3 from the field. Ben Simmons is, I think this is a different role for him that he's kind of figuring out how to play, right? You don't really need to shoot the ball much on this team. You need to find open guys. You need to play excellent defense, and you need to get rebounds. And I think those are things he can excel at. I'm interested to see what happens when we see Kyrie Irving take the floor because we have not seen it yet. How's his relationship with Steve Nash? How's KD's relationship with Steve Nash? They're 0-2 in the preseason, which, I'm sure they wanted a win or 2 here. But when things get difficult this season, when they go through stretches where guys are not playing well, things are not going well for the team, how do they bounce back? That's going to be a real test for them. Looking at the bench here, Morris, 10 points for him. Markieff Morris, I always forget which one. Markieff, 2 twins. 5 of 7 from the field for him, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and then 18 points here for Cam Thomas. One of the young guys they still have on the squad after trading a bunch of them for James Harden and then trading for Ben Simmons. All right, let's look here into game 2. This is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They get a win here, 131 over the 36ers, the team that beat the Phoenix Suns just a couple days ago. But Oklahoma City wins this game 131-98. We had some big performances by guys on this Australian team. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, Darius Baisley, 12 points for him. 26 points for Terrence Mann. Huge game for him. Aaron Wiggins, 12 points, 7 rebounds. And then 10 points here, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in 21 minutes for Josh Giddey. We see ex-King Robert Woodard here, 12 minutes for him in this game. Obviously, Chet Holmgren is out for the season. We're still waiting on SGA to make his season debut. Sprained left knee. He's out right now. You have guys like Marquise Chris, Sacramento native, was brought in to help this team. And then one of my favorite players, Lou Dort, was out due to concussion protocol. This Oklahoma City Thunder team, they have some young talent. They're not going to win a lot of games this year. Like I mentioned, they're probably in the driver's seat for Victor Wambayama, but we'll see where the ping pong balls bounce. But this team is going to have a bright future in the next couple years, that's for sure. All right, the third game of the day, the Orlando Magic take on the San Antonio Spurs. Orlando wins 102-99. Not the most entertaining game, but a lot of young talent on a lot of these teams, right? We got to see number 1 overall pick Paolo Banchero playing this game, 9 points for him, 5 rebounds in 22 minutes. And then Wendell Carter Jr., where did this guy come from, right? After not playing exceptionally well for the Chicago Bulls, he was moved for Vucevic, and he killed it in this game. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 of 13 from the field, and splashed a 3 in this game in only 22 minutes. Huge game for him. Can he step up and be the center that the Orlando Magic have been looking for since Dwight Howard left, 10 years ago or something at this point? Maybe he can. Jalen Suggs, 6 points for him in this game. And then Terrence Ross, the shooter, 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field as well. Looking at the bench here, you got Mo Wagner, 10 points for him. And yes, his brother, Franz, is on this team right here, 12 points for him. One of Calvin's favorite players, but he is a little biased from the Michigan connection there. Mo Bamba, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 18 minutes. A lot of question marks surrounding Mo Bamba, right? He was drafted to be the center of this team, has underperformed, has dealt with injuries, and obviously, this team has not had a lot of talent or experienced talent, right? A lot of young talent, but not experienced players to help them win games. Mo Bamba, will he be this guy? We don't know. Him and Wendell Carter Jr. are definitely going to be fighting for the starting point center position. And then Bol, a lot of people's love Bol, right? His father was in the NBA, and he absolutely killed it in the bubble there. 14 minutes for him, 0 points, 3 rebounds in this game. Cole Anthony could be the future point guard of this team. 6 points in this game. Horrible shooting, 1 of 11 from the field in 24 minutes. And then another young guy here, RJ Hampton, 8 points, 7 rebounds in 21 minutes. This team has a ton of young talent. When are they going to put it together? We'll have to wait and see. Also, another guy we're waiting on, Jonathan Isaac, still dealing with that left knee injury, has not played since 2020. Really, really unfortunate. We got Markelle Fultz here. I mentioned he's on the injury report due to the fractured left toe. Poor guy, just can't catch a break. Gary Harris here had the left knee surgery. This Orlando Magic team, I know they're 1-1 here in the preseason. I don't expect a lot of wins out of them this year in the NBA, but I'm excited to see which of these young guys step up. They need to start deciding who is going to be, their franchise player, which players they are built around, and then which players they're going to ship out for draft picks, or maybe more veteran players to help create some culture here and develop a winner. The Spurs also played in this game. You look at this squad, what a crazy roster it is for the Spurs, right? We're so used to seeing a winning franchise here with Hall of Fame players, and we just simply don't have that right now, right? You got Bates Diop here, 12 points for him. Jakob Poeltl, 0 points. This was the big acquisition in the Kawhi Leonard trade, right? You did get DeMar DeRozan, but he was kind of an aging veteran. This was the young piece that you picked up, and he really hasn't become that guy. You got Josh Richardson here, 9 points for him, and Devin Vassell. I'm high on this guy. Great 3-and-D player, but needs a few years to develop. Greg Popovich is definitely going to help him a lot, but 11 points in this game, 5 assists, 4 of 11 shooting. Not really what you want to see from a 3-and-D player. You look at the bench here, Zach Collins, ex-Portland Trailblazer, 9 points for him, 5 rebounds. Really a different guy since the injury. Hopefully he can get healthy, come back and fight for a starting spot on this Spurs team that, unfortunately is not going to win a lot of games. But hey, if they can get a guy like Scoot Henderson or Victor Wambayama, they could bounce back pretty fast. One of the best run franchises, in my opinion, in the NBA with a Hall of Fame coach. They just need to get some talent on this squad. All right, let's talk about the next 2 games. So we had the Portland Trailblazers take on, this Israeli team. I'm not going to pronounce it because I'm horrible with names here. But you look at this team, you got guys like Norris Cole, 19 points for him. But they lost to the Blazers, 138-85. This Blazers team, as I've been saying, lots of question marks surrounding them. How good can they be this season after trading guys like CJ McCollum, trading, what is that guy? Robert Covington, and some of these 3 and D players. What will they look like this year? They definitely, put some eggs in Anthony Simons' basket. Also, Shaedon Sharpe, they took a big gamble on him in the draft. Wow, it paid off in this game. 27 points, 2 rebounds, and assist in 23 minutes. 10 of 13 from the field, including a couple dunks in this game. Shaedon Sharpe could be a very, very good player in the NBA. Exciting to watch. I saw he had a huge block in their first game. What will this guy be able to do? Will his game translate? He could end up being one of the best players, if not the best player coming out of last year's or this year's NBA draft. He could also be a big flop as well. Didn't look like it in this game. He played huge. And yeah, Blazers win big. All right. In the final game of the day, and this is the one I was laughing at earlier, you look at this Lakers roster, you're not going to recognize anybody on this team, right? Minnesota Timberwolves, we have Rudy Gobert out here, 17 minutes for him, 12 rebounds, doing his thing. Anthony Edwards, I think this guy is going to have a huge season after making a big step forward last year, 13 points for him in 23 minutes. And then D'Angelo Russell out here, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in 19 minutes. They are waiting for their star center, Karl Anthony Towns, to come back. This is going to be an exciting team this year. Whether they can make it past the second round is yet to be seen, but they definitely took a swing for the fences in this offseason, bringing in Gobert. They gave up some young players and some picks. I like Jaden McDaniels. I like Gobert a lot. And I like Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. Like, this team is stacked with talent. It'll be interesting to see what kind of damage they can do this year. What's up, Progressive G? Good to see you here in the chat. We're just going over yesterday's games. We're going to give some previews of tonight's games. If you guys got any questions for me, go ahead and drop them here in the chat. I'd be happy to answer any of them. Also, if you missed earlier in the video, I was showing the Draymond Green Jordan Poole punch. It's so crazy, man. It really is. And Steve Kerr, once punched by Jordan, now watched a Jordan get punched in his practice. Absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. All right, let's move here onto the Lakers. The losing Lakers, right? They lost this game 114-99. They are now 0-3. That makes me feel so good. They lost by 30 to the Kings on Monday. They lost yesterday and the day before. But we got to see LeBron and Anthony Davis playing that second game. Not in this third game, as it was a back-to-back, and they were on their way back from Las Vegas. Look at the stars on this team, right? We got Wayne Gabriel, a former player on the Sacramento Kings, Thomas Bryant, Austin Reeves, Scottie Pippen Jr., Max Christie. Who are these guys, right? Look at this Lakers squad. It is absolutely ridiculous, the lack of talent on this team. I mean, you take away LeBron, you take away Russ, you take away AD. What else do you really have on this squad, right? I like Lonnie Walker. What can he really do? 10 points in this game, 4-13 from the field. Is he enough? They brought in Beverly. They brought in Schroeder. But what else does this team really have, right? Damian Jones. I liked him on the Sacramento Kings. But is he enough, right? Like, can he be the 4th, 5th, 6th best player on this team? Not in my opinion. I don't think this Lakers team is going absolutely anywhere unless they make a big deal. And yes, I'm looking at you, Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, you're the odd man out. You make a ton of money, and you're a free agent at the end of the season. In my opinion, if you're the Lakers, trade Russ and those 2 first-round picks, get some of these veterans from the Utah Jazz, or make a big move for somebody else. Hey, maybe even Draymond Green's available. He could definitely help your squad. This Lakers team needs to make some moves if they want to be competitive. That is for sure. Progressive G, what kind of suspension do you think Draymond Green deserves for that? I was looking at this pass article here. Let's see if I can pull it up again. There's Steve Kerr when he got punched. But this was Bobby Portis. He tweeted today. If you remember, Bobby Portis got into an altercation with Mirotic in practice and actually broke Mirotic's face or his cheekbone. he got suspended for 8 games by his team for quote-unquote defending himself after Adrian Wojnarowski reported that Mirotic came at Portis twice. Portis finally threw a punch and connected with him in the second time. It's not the same in the Warriors situation. So does Draymond Green get suspended for 8 games? That's tough. If you're a returning NBA champion, it's like kind of what I was saying about the Boston Celtics, right? Like, how bad is it with your coach that you need to suspend him for the year? The NBA is not suspending him. You're hurting your own team by suspending your coach. Yes, it was deserved, but you're hurting your own team. And it's the same with the Golden State Warriors here. Do you suspend Draymond Green and impact your team's chance at winning a title this season? But also, like, you got to send a message that is absolutely not acceptable. So does he get suspended for 8 games or more? We'll see. Yeah, I mean, he got suspended for, 1 game for the KD situation. Let's see if I can find that here. Yeah, 1 game for the KD altercation, not including a punch. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Should we watch this thing one more time? Oh, this is what they do to me every time, man. You got to restart it. These Twitter videos, if you play them once, they don't like to play again. So give me 1 second here. I'll play this video again. It really is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's crazy. Look at Jordan Poole, man. He's not even paying attention. He's just over there doing his own thing. Draymond Green's pissed because Poole's getting a contract extension and he's not. Look at Curry's over there. Draymond Green approaches. Gets in his face. Boom. Look at the coaching staff standing there. Look at the one coach walk over here right here. Look like he's going to do something. And then he does nothing, dude. He just stands there. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we saw videos of Jordan Poole, just literally just shooting after the game. Was actually shooting not bad, after the practice. Finished practice, was smiling. Obviously, I don't think this is going to affect him. The dude can take a punch, that's for sure. But Jordan Poole, in my opinion, is part of the future of the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green's not. He's the past. You could argue and say maybe he's the present, like last season, maybe this season. But Jordan Poole is the future of this squad, and this is only going to make him stronger. That is for sure. Draymond should have been arrested. I mean, maybe if Jordan Poole wants to press charges, I don't know if he's going to do that, but that was assault. That was straight up assault, man. Watching that video, I felt, obviously it's not the same situation, but watching that Ray Rice video, I felt disgusted, and I feel the same about this video. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, if I'm the Warriors, I'm trading Draymond Green at this point. I really am. I am. Maybe it's an overreaction by me, but you can't do that, man. You got to set a precedent. You're the NBA champions. You're supposed to be the voice. You're supposed to be the leader of your team, and you go around sucker punching young players. Totally not acceptable. All right, let's go over Friday's games. Then I'll answer any questions from you guys, and we will end the show. I'm going fishing today, so I'm excited. I'm going to go catch some bait fish and hopefully reel in a monster. I'll definitely let you guys know on Sunday post-game on Royal Rebounds. It should be a lot of fun. All right, so Fridays. This is Friday. We got some fun games today. We got the Boston Celtics taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Boston, obviously they have the two-headed monster in Tatum and Brown. They played exceptionally well in the last game. I think they're going to have another big game here. We'll see what happens with Charlotte. They're kind of, falling off here after losing Bridges due to the domestic violence situation. They brought in one of the Ball brothers, so now they got 2 balls. But they cannot play defense, man. They've been giving up 130 points, 120 points. They had the worst defense in the NBA last season, and it doesn't look like anything has changed in this game at all. The second game of the day, we have the Indiana Pacers taking on the new-look New York Knicks. I'm excited for this game, and I'm excited for what the Knicks are doing, right? They finally re-signed a player that they drafted in RJ Barrett. He's played exceptionally well in this preseason. He was actually the first, or actually the most recent Knicks player that they drafted in the first round that they re-signed in like the past 10-plus seasons. Absolutely ridiculous. They also haven't been able to attract big-name free agents as well. and they were able to get one this season. So I'm excited for the Knicks. I think they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. And obviously, yeah, we'll see the Pacers. We'll see Tyrese Halliburton. We'll see what he can do. They're an interesting team. You know, are they sellers? Are they buyers? What happens with Miles Turner? I think Buddy Hield and Miles Turner could potentially get traded to Lakers for Russell Westbrook. You throw a couple first-round picks in there. Maybe the Pacers do that deal. The Lakers got to do something. But I definitely am keeping an eye on the Pacers this season. That's for sure. All right, third game of the day. We have the Chicago Bulls taking on the Denver Nuggets. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Unfortunately, Lonzo Ball is out due to the knee surgery. But this Chicago Bulls team was a lot of fun to watch last year. DeMar DeRozan was reinvigorated here. He brought out his inner Jordan last year. We'll see if he can do it again this year. And then, of course, the Denver Nuggets are finally healthy, right? They have a two-time MVP in Nikola Jokic. Unfortunately, they lost Jamal Murray 2 seasons ago due to injury when he was absolutely balling. He lost Michael Porter Jr. last season due to the back injury. They're both back. This Denver Nuggets team, if they can remain healthy, they are one of the best teams in the Western Conference. And I think they can make a run at the Western Conference Finals and potentially the NBA Finals, but they do have to stay healthy. And of course, we got to give a shout out to ex-Sacramento Kings head coach Mike Malone, one of my favorite guys. But I'm keeping an eye on this game for sure. Fourth game of the day, and we have a lot of games today. So, unfortunately, look, you got 2 of them at the same time, and then you got 5 of them all at the same time. So I'm going to be watching a bunch of highlights. Probably I'll catch the Heat game on NBA TV, but I'm going to be rewatching all these for sure. Key King says the Pacers will get the number 1 pick next year. Mark it. Wow. Okay. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Victor Wambayama, man, he could help any team, but he could definitely fast forward that rebuild. And you imagine watching him and Tyrese Halliburton play together? That would be really, really fun to watch. But back to this fourth game of the day. The Toronto Raptors take on the Houston Rockets. What are the Rockets doing, right? They gave up Christian Wood to the Mavericks for not much. They're currently in a rebuild. They have some exciting young pieces. But they really need to start putting things together and figure out who they are actually building around. They could also be in that sweepstakes for Victor Wambayama or Scoot Henderson. So I'd keep an eye on them as well. Like I said yesterday about the Toronto Raptors, a lot of questions surrounding them, right? Are they going to be buyers this year? Are they going to be sellers? Obviously, Scotty Barnes was a home run, won the Rookie of the Year last year. Will he be able to take another step forward, or will he experience the sophomore slump? We'll definitely see. I like Pascal Siakam. I like Gary Trent Jr. What's going to happen with him? I believe he's entering into contract year as well. And then you got guys like Fred VanVleet as well. Will this Raptors team add pieces and make a run in the playoffs? Or will they, come into the season slumping and decide, okay, maybe we do need to rebuild around this young guy in Scotty Barnes and trade guys like Siakam and bring in some more pieces? We'll definitely, we'll see. All right. As I mentioned, this game, NBA TV, Miami Heat take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Will Tyler Hero be back out there? We're not sure. He's dealing with that knee contusion, which is a bruise. They use all these fancy words these days to describe these injuries. But he just got a huge contract extension. We saw him start in one of these preseason games. Obviously, Jimmy Butler was out in that game. But I'm excited to see what the Miami Heat can do this year. Does Tyler Hero start? I would consider it if I was the coaching staff. Just think about that starting lineup, right? If you're able to bring in Kyle Lowry and he's healthy, you start Tyler Hero, you got Bam Adebayo, you got Jimmy Butler, and then whoever you decide to kind of throw in that 4 spot to make it work. This Miami Heat team, they got a great culture. They all work hard. They were in the NBA Finals just a few seasons ago. And I have to say, some of their young talent has got better. Whether the bubble was an anomaly or not is yet to be seen. But I definitely like the Miami Heat. And I like the Memphis Grizzlies as well. Good young team, a lot of talent. Unfortunately, Jaren Jackson Jr. is out until early next year. But exciting game to watch between these two teams, that's for sure. And I love me some Ja Morant. The next game of the day, we have the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, the new look Pelicans. Zion is playing this year. He's looking good. He's looking thin. He's ready to win some games. They just re-signed CJ McCollum. We saw Jackson Hayes get some minutes and play exceptionally well. And then, of course, my new favorite player, Jose GTA Grand Theft Alvarado, will be playing in this game. I'm excited. This game's going to be a lot of fun to watch, so make sure you stay tuned. I also want to remind you all, if you have not signed up for NBA League Pass, you still got a chance to do it before the season starts. They got some really cool plans on NBA.com now. You can sign up for a monthly plan. You could sign up like per game or for the whole year. I pre-ordered NBA 2K23, so I got a full year of NBA League Pass, and that allows me to watch all the games on my computer, on my phone. So definitely, if you're a basketball fan, you got to get League Pass, man. You definitely got to get League Pass. All right, final game of the day. Orlando that I was just talking about. They played yesterday. This is back-to-back for them against the Dallas Mavericks. Orlando's got a ton of young talent on this squad, but they got to figure it out. Who are you building around, right? Is Wendell Carter going to be your center? Is Mo Bamba going to be your center? Do you play them both together? What happens with Markelle Fultz? Can he get healthy? And then some of these young guys that they just drafted recently, including Jalen Suggs, what do you do with this squad? You got to get some momentum going in this rebuild. And then what happens with Jonathan Isaac? The guy's been out for 2+ years. What happens with him? Can he come back this season and play well? We'll see. Orlando Magic could be a team that, tries to scoot into that play-in spot. Maybe they make some moves there and it gives them some momentum to build on next year. But they're question mark for me. And then if you've heard me talk about the Dallas Mavericks recently, I absolutely love what they did this offseason in picking up Christian Wood. He fits that team exceptionally well. I think Luka Doncic will be an MVP caliber candidate this season. However, I think a lot of people are going to look at this season as a disappointment for the Dallas Mavericks, and that's because I don't have them going to the Western Conference Finals. I think they overachieved last year. I think they're a better squad this season than they were last year, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. You have a lot of good young teams in the West. I expect teams like Memphis to take another step forward. You obviously have a healthy Denver Nuggets team. I like this Mavericks team a lot, but like I said, they got lucky last year, in my opinion. They played exceptionally well. And then I don't know if they're going to be able to get past a team like the Phoenix Suns this year, but we'll see what happens in that situation. Matthew, what's up? Good to have you here. All right, Progressive G, do you think the LV Seattle expansions will dilute NBA talent and hurt small market teams' ability to attract free agents? Yes and no. I think that adding 2 expansion teams to the NBA in the short term will impact small market teams and dilute talent. But overall, I think this is going to help the NBA in the long term. And I think this provides more opportunities for young players. And I think the talent pool has grown, right? Like just over the past few years, we've seen the ability for teams to tap into talent pools in Africa and other foreign countries where they're able to watch younger players, help develop them, and then bring them to the NBA. So I think the talent pool is getting bigger and bigger every single year. I think it will dilute it for maybe the first 2-3 seasons, especially with the expansion draft. I think that's going to hurt teams, that have a ton of young talent. So maybe like an Orlando Magic, Golden State Warriors. Obviously, they're not a small market team, and they won the NBA championship last year. But teams that are deep like that have a lot of young talent, they're not going to be able to protect all those players, and they're going to end up going to Las Vegas and Seattle in these expansion drafts. We saw it happen with the Sacramento Kings with, I think it was, Gerald Wallace or something. It's going to be a temporary dilution, but I think this is good for the NBA in the long term ultimately. And honestly, I'm excited for Seattle to get their team back. I'm excited to see the fans celebrating, having the Supersonics. Maybe it'll dilute the Seahawks fan base. I would absolutely love that because Seahawks fans are annoying as hell. And then Las Vegas is going to be a lot of fun, right? That town, that city is growing so fast, right? As far as teams go. Like they just brought in the Raiders. They have a hockey team now. They're trying to get a baseball team, potentially the A's. and now they're bringing in a basketball team. It's just exciting. I love Vegas. I have a lot of fun there. I hope to go there for the summer league next summer. And then LeBron mentioned that he wants to own the team, so it will definitely be a lot of fun. Matthew doesn't like my response. That's okay, Matthew. All right, before I wrap up the show, I want to just give you guys a couple little previews here. I've been working on some new scenes for the channel here. I'm kind of changing the vibe up a little bit. As you probably know, Calvin and I do live in Hawaii. This is the morning show. It's morning for me, but it's not for you guys. But I have a lot of fun here. So we're kind of changing this channel a little bit. We want to make it more Hawaii tiki bar themed. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a little preview here of some stuff I'm working on. Let me know if you like it. I want to hear your feedback. We're going to have some cool stuff for Wednesday night parties. It's going to be a chill, laid-back vibe, kind of a tiki bar vibe. We're going to have some cool graphics on the screen. So let me know your guys' thoughts if you like it, if you dislike it. If you have any ideas, let me know. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun this season. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll definitely be having a lot of fun here on the channel. But sneak preview, basketball at the bar, at the Tiki Bar. All right, so let's see here. If we draft bad, we won't have to worry about losing anyone. Good point, Matthew. I don't like the expansion back to our city after the... What? I don't like the expansion back to our city after the tour out of the Sonics. Yeah, I get that. I mean, you could ask Charlotte about it, right? They lost their team to New Orleans. Then they end up changing. Kind of a weird situation, right? Like they become, they were the Charlotte Hornets, right? Then they go over to New Orleans and they become the New Orleans Hornets. Then they open up an expansion team in Charlotte. They don't call it the Hornets because there's already the New Orleans Hornets. They call it the Bobcats. And then all of a sudden, New Orleans is like, we don't want to be the Hornets anymore. We're going to be the Pelicans. And then Charlotte's like, okay, we'll be the Hornets again. So now they're the Charlotte Hornets, which is the same franchise, but it's a different franchise. Like it's the same name, but it technically is a different franchise. But they still have the records of the other. I don't know. It is so confusing to me. But I mean, it sucks your team was stripped away, but don't let it impact your future happiness by denying the fact that you could potentially have another team in your city. If the Kings got ripped out of Sacramento like they tried to, I would be really, really unhappy, but I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not in your position, so it's hard for me to comment, but I don't think I would be hating for another team to come there in the future. All right, but I disagree. I think Seattle and Las Vegas will permanently be cities that free agents will look to go to over Sacramento. I mean, add it on the list, Progressive G. I mean, wouldn't you rather go to LA? Wouldn't you rather go to Miami? Wouldn't you rather go to Orlando? You know, I heard, there's a lot of good cities. New York, all this. It could hurt Sacramento, but, in all honesty, Sacramento's got to pick it up, dude. You start winning games, you have good talent, young players that people want to play with. They're going to go to your city to win championships. So, you always have those destination cities that Sacramento's never going to be able to compete with in terms of like quality of living or, temperature, weather, all that stuff. You just got to build a contender and make them, winning attracts talent, like Key King says. That's for sure. All right, guys, I think that wraps up today's episode. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please don't forget to smash up that like button, hit that subscribe button. This wraps up my first week of the morning show. I'm going to keep doing it. So I'll be back next week, Monday through Friday, for the morning show, 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll also be live every single Wednesday night for Wednesday night parties, 6 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time as well. We're going to be messing around with that when daylight savings time comes, because right now we're 3 hours difference from the West Coast. We'll be 2 hours, so we might move the show towards 7 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, which would be 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as it is right now. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Kings play on Sunday. Don't miss that game. And we'll be live on Royal Rebounds afterwards to wrap it up. Also doing some cool things on Royal Rebounds as well. I'm going to be broadcasting the game. Obviously not the live play, but I can do the score and I can do play-by-play on the screen. So I'll be doing that during every single Kings game. So if the game's blacked out or you're unable to watch it, tune into the channel. I might even pop in, have some words to say, do a little halftime show or something like that. So beat LA, beat LA. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome Friday.